I used to build a habit and feel great for 1 week. And usually, after that, I would fall off completely, quit, and act like nothing ever happened. But nowadays, luckily, with this system, I have been able to go to the gym for over 2 years without skipping a single workout. Even on Christmas, even on New Year's, even on all the holidays, I went gym. And I've also been able to make over 200 videos without getting anything from them. Literally nothing. And so the important thing for you is, how can you apply the lessons that I've learned to your life and also build these amazing habits that massively improve your life and actually stick to them? That's the big question. And the first thing I would like you to think about is, what is the hardest part of any habit? And if you think for a while, you will realize that it is the beginning. It is the first step. If you imagine a stairwell, you have the stairs and you have the elevator. Which stair is the hardest? Well, it's the first one. Because the first one is the stair which you pick the stairs over the elevator. You make the choice of the hard path instead of the easy one. And that's what makes the first stair the hardest, the first step the hardest, even though it's equal in length and height to every other step along the way. And so how do we make the first step as easy as possible, as small as possible, so that it's super easy to begin, and then you use that momentum that you gain from the first step to continue what you're doing. And so you can just set a very small bar to get over, and then you get the momentum to continue. So a very simple example is, if you want a habit of, let's say you want to read 3 pages of a book every day. Very simple and common habit that people have. Well, eventually when that day comes that you don't feel like reading the 3 pages, which is inevitable, that day is coming, and it's probably going to come a lot sooner than you think. What do you do then? Well, you can set a very small bar that gets you that momentum. So you could literally say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to pick up the book, I'm going to read 1 sentence. Literally, just read 1 sentence. And after you read 1 sentence of that book, you're allowed to quit and do whatever you want. But the moment you read that 1 sentence, you're never going to stop with the 1 sentence. You're always going to continue. So the moment you read the 1 sentence, which was the extremely small bar after which you were allowed to do whatever you wanted, the moment you just started, boom, you get in the flow, you're like, you know what, this is not as bad, and then you just read the 3 pages. That simple, literally. Or you want to go to the gym. Well, you don't feel like going to the gym. I've had that feeling a lot of times. But you just start like, well, you know what, let me put all my shoes and my workout clothes, and then after I've done those things, I'm allowed to do whatever I want. But once again, you just take the very small first step. It gets you in the mood to do it. It gets you that momentum, and you're like, you know what, I might as well go. I might as well continue the momentum while I got it. And so to get the momentum on your side, just have a very small goal, a very small bar that you have to get over. And the first step, you just make it super easy, and then boom, use that momentum to keep rolling. And here's the great thing. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. Because you're literally rewiring your brain to make that thing a habit and better. So after a few months of doing something, it becomes a part of you. You don't even have to think about it. You no longer need motivation. It's literally impossible to need motivation because it's so a part of you. You literally just do it. You don't even think about it. There is no conscious process thinking, should I go to the gym or not today? No, you just go because it's a part of you. And so the first few months you just gotta have that little bit of momentum to build on your side, and then after a few months, boom, the habit is built for the rest of your life, and boom, you can just continue. And while you're building that, sure, there's gonna be those days you don't wanna do it. But once again, every day that you don't wanna do it and you still go out there and do it, you're rewiring your brain to do hard stuff, even though you don't wanna do it. So every time you do something, every time you just, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, even though I don't wanna do it. Like right now, I didn't wanna record this video. I actually really did not want to record this video. And I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And every time you get over that part, it's like a mental fence. Every time you get over the mental fence, it gets smaller and smaller and easier and easier. And so because I've done this so many times, it's become so easy for me to do it even though I don't wanna do it. Because there's been so many times that I did not want to record, yet I forced myself to. You know, I asked myself a very simple question. Am I a fucking man or Mickey motherfucking Mouse? And then I'm like, well, motherfucker, I ain't no Mickey motherfucking Mouse. I'm a man, and so I have to do it. And then I go and I do it. And once again, you're rewiring your brain to get better and better and better and better. And then it becomes a part of you, and then it's easy. And once again, to really drive it into your head that this is what you should do, you can literally rewire your brain by doing the correct thing. And once again, it's rewiring that, hey, after we do this, we get rewarded, therefore, let's do more of that. You know, it's like all the science experiments with the dogs, or feeding the dog and giving it a treat when it does the correct thing. And then the faster you give it that thing, the more it learns and so on. Everyone knows this. If you want to train a dog, after you say sit and it sits, you give it a treat, you reward it. And you can do that with yourself. You know, when people say, I'm gonna let the dog out, you know, let the dog in me. Usually they don't mean this, but they could mean this, because you can train yourself kind of like a dog. And so whenever I go for a run, for example, and I'm finishing the run, the last 100 meters, I'm there celebrating, boom, I'm the fucking best, ooh! No one can fucking stop me. I'm celebrating. I'm rewarding my brain with huge amounts of dopamine after I finish a run. Why? Did I win a gold medal? Why would I celebrate like I just did when I didn't? Well, it's to reward myself. And when you reward yourself like this, boom, all of a sudden, you stick to the habit. All of a sudden, it's easier and it's easier. And you can also have the opposite. You know, make it impossible to cheat. So, for example, if you're on a diet, one of the best ways for me to not cheat on my diet is to not even have the opportunity. There is literally not a single piece of food in this fucking apartment that I consider cheat food, that I cannot have. I literally don't buy it and I don't bring it here. And because it's not anywhere where I can eat it, I cannot cheat. And boom, surprise, surprise, after a few months, 6-pack. You get the 6-pack because you didn't cheat on the diet. Because you couldn't cheat, because there was nothing you could cheat with. No food that is cheat food. Very simple. And you just combine these things and boom, all of a sudden it gets better and better. And you know, yes, there's all these tricks that you can do to help yourself stay disciplined and to help you build those good habits. But there is one important thing that I have to tell you. You will never be able to stick to a habit that you don't find helps your life in any way. I used to do cold showers. I don't anymore. Because I just thought to myself, if everything else stays exactly the same, if I do cold showers for the next 3 months, or I don't do cold showers for the next 3 months, my life will look literally identical. If all other factors stay the same, my life will still look identical. So it's a shit fucking habit to have. At least for me, because I see no benefit in them. Maybe you do. Maybe you can go do that. But if you think to yourself, does this habit truly, in some way, positively impact my life within the next few months or the foreseen future if I stick with it? And if the answer is no, then why the fuck would you waste your time with it? Just saying. You know, like if you go to the gym or you don't go to the gym, like in 3 to 6 months, you're gonna see notable changes in your strength, your mood, your physique, your health, in all these metrics. So it's a good habit to build. And because you have that, like, oh, this stuff actually helps me. This stuff will actually get me closer to the person that I want to become and closer to my dream life. It's easy to, find the motivation to do it. It's like that example of, hey, if somebody put a gun to your head, you would do basically anything to survive. No matter how much motivation you had, it wouldn't fucking matter. Having a gun to your head and survival being on the line is a big enough motivator to make you do basically fucking anything. And so if you reframe the situation that you are in, this is what I do a lot with my videos, for example. Because I've not gotten anything from my videos. I haven't blown up. I haven't succeeded. I haven't got the views or anything. But I just think to myself, I reframe the situation. If my dreams are so big, the dream life that I want to live, I want to make these videos and so on. That dream life, it's worth suffering for. Just like survival is worth suffering for. And so when you reframe the situation as almost as if you have some sort of gun to your head, it's like, well, either I make these videos no matter how little I get from them, even if I get nothing from them, even if it sucks, even if I don't want to do it, even if it hurts. If I just do that, it will give me the best chance of my dream life. And my dream life is so worthy that it's worth going through a bit of that fucking suffering for. It's worth doing shit that I don't want to do for. Because the goal at the end is big enough. And that's what most people forget. You have to have a goal that is worthy. Right? So if you have a habit of moving sand from pile A to pile B, you're never gonna fucking stick to it. Because it's a shit fucking habit, once again. But if your habits are the habits that will lead to your dream life, and your dream life is worth everything to you, then you will stick to it. You will do it. Because it's worth it. Even though it causes you pain and suffering, it's still worth it. Because it's literally the most important thing in your life. After survival, it's the second most important thing. And therefore, you have a big enough goal to where no matter what you feel like, no matter how unmotivated you are, you're simply gonna do it. And so when you set habits that actually are leading you and getting you closer to the life that you want to live, closer to your dreams, that is what will truly motivate you and keep you disciplined to stick with them. You can use all the tricks you want, but at the end, it's all gonna come down to, do you fucking want it or not? And if the goal at the end is so big that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get it, then you're gonna do whatever it takes to get it. But if the goal is not big enough to where you're willing to do something to get it, then you're not gonna do anything to get it, and you're not gonna stick with the habit. And so you have to have that big goal that you actually see as valuable and impactful in your life. And so go out there, stay disciplined, chase your dreams, and have a fantastic day.